Okay, so now I think we're in a good place to bring this into Claude code and convert this from a mock-up HTML into actual code that we're going to put into our Swift project and run on our iPhone simulator. So let's go ahead and export this as HTML. Pause the video until it's ready. Okay, so the download was generated. We see it went there. Let's do the same for page 2 and page 3 and come back once that's done. Okay, so my downloads are done, and now we're going to go and pick up the first one of these files, our first page here, and tell Claude, okay, Claude, we want to code this HTML mockup, Claude code, Claude Design, into my Swift app, so it will display as my UI for production child nutrition app. Can you convert it and produce a Swift file named dashboard view .swift? And it can, and it will. Make sure we're recording. Yes, we are. So this is not going to be plug and play, right? It's going to come back. I would suspect a lot of the elements will appear correctly. Oh. We've got to do this. Continue. Yeah, I would suspect that we're going to see a lot of the elements display correctly, but the behavior is going to have to be tweaked. And you need to know, this isn't at the point where you don't need to know how to code. This is just accelerating the skill of coding at this point. I've built iOS apps before without the help of AI, so I know when it can get wrong. I can read the code and tell you what's not quite right. But the great element about this is that I can have it generate code, and I don't have to worry about is the bracket in the right place and the commas and all the syntax stuff for every little detail. I still need to be conscious of that. I still need to be conscious that I still need to know how this works. I'm going to have to plug code in, ask for before and afters, to have Claude create a function a little bit differently and be able to describe exactly what I need that's different. So I still need to know how to code. But the fact that I can plug in some HTML and have it convert into Swift, and even if it's at 65% of what I need, that's a significant productivity boost. So we want to acknowledge that. So let's let it build, and then we'll pause the video and come back when it's done. Okay, so we have our dashboard view. Okay, so we have our dashboard view, and we see we generated about 600 lines of code. Let's just take a quick pass at everything that's in here. We see what appears to be a cell mapping. Let's see here, some coordinates. This is pretty good, right? And this is our the computation of our hexagon stuff. Where is our actual, we have a recommendations button here, and a little further up we should begin to see our insights area. We have the insights bar, circular gauge view. So it looks like everything that we've asked for is here. So I have copied this, and we're going to plug it into our Swift code. And first, I think I need to actually allow my video editor to see what we're doing. And we'll just do a full screen share. No, cancel, go back. I need a screen share for the whole screen. Okay, should be able to see my whole screen. And now, let's see. Yes, you can see my Xcode, right? And so I have obviously been doing a lot of this before I recorded. So I've got a number of files here in my Xcode, and I'm kind of taking you back through the process that I went through to do this. But we're going to paste dboard, which is the dashboard code that we just generated, paste it into Xcode here, and we see dboard view. Let's see here, nutrient summary card, body, the same things that we just previously saw. Okay, and let's run this and see what we came up with in the simulator. So we've got our iPhone simulator here. I love it. So this looks exactly like what we generated on our Claude Design, except this is an actual iPhone app. This is at least the UI portion of the iPhone app. We have our rings. Of course, the proportions are not quite right yet. That's why we go back and we do our jobs as code literate people and make changes here. But the fact that we have hexagon mapping, color-coded hexagons, we don't have the color bleeds yet, right? So iron is red and it's not having any effect on coordination or cognitive speed. But we have a baseline. And then now with this code, we can improve it. We can take certain code blocks and manipulate elements to look better. But the main point here is that we've got our design that we created in Claude Design on the iPhone app, pretty much just as we imagined it, just as we mocked it up. And we're going to do the same thing for each of our other pages and show those. I'm going to walk you through some of the improvements that I make in the code to get this actually functioning, and then we're going to start using real data, actually scanning, adding our photo scanner, and then adding photos to the iPhone app so that we can send those photos to Gemini from local at first. Send those photos to Gemini and then get a response from Gemini that scores our nutrients here, and then based on the score we will populate our map down here that says hey, you've got a problem with coordination because iron scored low, you've got a problem with cognitive speed because iron scored low. And that will be demonstrated through that kind of bleeding effect of color between. Still got to make sure that we get this UI, hashed out, because right now it conceptually it's interesting, but as far as presentation quality, it's not there yet. There's also a few other nutrients that we can consider adding, not a large amount, but just a couple, and we'll go from there. But this is good progress. We've moved from using Claude Design to mock things up in HTML to getting Claude to actually generate a very, relatively sophisticated page on iOS. So let's keep going.